Hey guys, Guys with the Magic back again, and it's now part two of the Market Watch for November 17th, 2024. So in this episode, we're going to go just a deep dive into each of the cards from all the different sets, all the different rarities, and just kind of look to see how many cards are in circulation and if there's any good deals that you should be aware of. Okay, so we're starting with Alpha. These are the Alpha Common cards. As you can see, we've got quite a few now that are actually under a dollar. A couple weeks ago, I think we were down to like 3 or 4 cards under a dollar. Now we have a couple of more. You see there's a decent amount of some of them, 47 of the Feral Spirit, 46 of the Silver Shield Warrior, but there are also a couple that aren't very plentiful, only 9 of the Minotaur Warrior, only 10 Haunted Spiders. So your prices range from 79 cents from the Fire Beetle all the way to 208 for the Giant Rock. So these are your Alpha Commons. Moving to the rare cards. Now you can see the rare cards, just a handful of those under $2. So 4 of the rares are under $2. Then once you hit the first summoner, Tyrus, he's at $2.11. All the way up to the most expensive is Ulrich, and Ulrich is sitting at just above $4. So you can see the print runs here. So you're looking at just over 2,000 of each alpha rare in circulation. But as far as on the marketplace, you can see a lot of these are in the single digits, are very, very low numbers for cards that are available for sale. Moving to the epic cards. So you have 10 epics in the set. So they range from $3.05 for the Fire Demon, all the way up to $9.50 for Magi of the Forest. Only 4 copies of that are available. In the print run of these, you can see there's anywhere from just under 1,000 in circulation up to, what does it look like, 1,300 is the most. And then finally your legendaries. So you've got 9 legendary cards in the base set of Alpha. Cheapest is Lord of Darkness, 3 copies. Cheapest is $20.34. All the way up to Elemental Phoenix, 3 copies available, starting at $139. So once again, these are Alpha Legendaries, pretty much the rarest of the rare as far as base sets go. And you can see like Angel of Light, there's only a single copy. All of these are under 10 copies available. In fact, other than Selenia Sky that has 8, you're looking at 4 or less of each Alpha Legendary card on the marketplace. So let's look at the promo cards, and then we'll look at the gold. So let's just put them all on the screen. So these are the only Alpha promo cards available. There was 1 of each rarity. You have the Dragon Whelp at $13.25. There's 9 copies available. Nabsini, the rare, $14.45, 8 copies available. And then Royal Dragon Archer is your epic card, $22.66, only 3 available. None of the legendary cards. Looking at the gold foil for the promo cards, you can see the prices here. Royal Dragon Archer, there's only a single copy. There's only 81 in circulation. But as far as the core cards go, let's look at your common cards for Alpha. So I actually picked up a Feral Spirit, I think it was about a week ago. So I got my first ever Alpha gold foil card. I think I paid $12, so now copy for $11.25. That is the floor. But you can see even the common cards, there are very, very few of these on the marketplace. And a common card, and there's only 3 to just under 400 available of some of these. Just shows you how rare these are. And as I mentioned in part 1, with all the packs that are available, there's only, I think, 4,300 or under 4,300 alpha packs available that are unopened. If you only get a 2% drop rate for gold foils, you're only looking at another 430 gold foil cards total that could be added to the marketplace. And where you have, let's see, how many are in the set? Is it 59? So you've got 59 available in the alpha set. So you're looking at probably 7 on average if you had the same number of each rarity, 7 of each card. Of course, you're going to get more commons than legendaries. And I think I figured out, as I mentioned in part 1, for your gold foil cards for the legendaries, there's only going to be 5 you know, maybe if you get really lucky, up to 10 gold foil legendaries that could be added to this pool. So these are extremely rare, and there's not going to be like some massive dumping of them in the future if everyone starts opening the remaining alpha packs. So these are your rares. You're looking at just under $70 for Cerberus, all the way up to the Water Elemental at just under 1,000. Only a single copy of that available, and as you can see, only single copies of a lot of these, and these are only the rares. Going for your epics, there are 10 epics in the set, and there's actually at least one of each on the marketplace. But as you can see, other than Serpent of the Flame that has 5 copies, and Naga Warrior that has 2, all the rest of them are just individual copies, ranging from $260 up to $3,000. So once again, these things are extremely rare. You can see the circulation numbers. You're under 100 for all of these. Actually, you're under 80 copies for these. And then finally for your legendaries, Selenia Sky, the only one on the marketplace. There's only 22 total in circulation, and asking $12,000. Okay, so that's it for your alphas. Let's go to beta. Just looking at the core and reward cards. Regular foil. So your common cards range from 4 cents all the way down to, and if you play in Wild, you know, these cards are great to pick up to play in Wild. And this is the card that was the outlier that I mentioned in part 1, $2.50 for the Silver Shield Warrior. This card should be probably 10 cents or less. You can see there's only 7 left, so this was probably a buyout. Actually, there are some listed now for 95 cents, so this needs to update. But still, even 95 cents is way too expensive for this card. Let me go ahead and refresh it, see if it'll update it. Yeah, this should be a 6 to 10 cent card, somewhere in there. So as you can see, people can buy out the market very quickly and then relist it multiples higher. So we're at 3 cents down to, yep, now you can see it. Now it's down to 95 cents. So those are your commons. Your rare betas range from 20 cents to the Boogeyman, all the way. You can see there's a decent amount of most of these cards, but then every once in a while you get to like Stone Golem and there's only 4. Is there any others that look like they're really low? Haunted Spirit, there's only 7 copies of that, 59 cents. Ulrich, I still think he's underpriced at $1.40. Serpentine Soldier, yeah, this card should not be above Ulrich, so $1.86. He should probably be 50 cents or less, so this one's kind of an outlier. Yeah, don't buy the Serpentine Soldier for $1.86. Epics, you're looking at 60 cents for the Divine Sorceress. So let it update the graphics. There we go. So 60 cents is the floor for the beta epics, all the way up to, look like another buyout, Zai Sichin, $19.91. You can see that's way above any of the previous cards. Is this a multiple BCX? No, this is for a single BCX. So I'm not sure why this card is so much higher, but definitely overpriced compared to the other epics and summoners in the set. And then finally, with your legendary cards, $5.38 for the Chromatic Dragon, all the way up to, what are some key cards? Cryptmancer is 18, Lord of Darkness 19, Selenia Sky just under 23, Plato at 27, Frost Giant, this should not be up here. This is kind of an outlier. You can see there's only 4 copies. Is this multiple? No, this is a single BCX for 35. But then if you look, a max level one, the BCX is right around $5 to $6. So this is more where this card should be for a single BCX. So he should be one of the lower priced legendaries, not $35. Then Prince Renan at 50. That is for a single BCX. If you have a max level one, you can get them for around 13. So once again, definitely don't pay 50 for a single BCX. And then Valnamore is sitting at $70, and actually that's the one I'm selling. So I'm selling one for $69.99, cheapest one on the market. Okay, so that's it for the beta cards. Let's look at the gold foils next. So for gold foil commons, we're looking at pretty much $2 is the floor, all the way up to some great cards here. $2.55 for Creeping Ooze, Cube at $2.90, Sea Monster $3.26. Cards like this go great with weapons training. Peaceful Giant with that 11 hit points and only 5 mana. So your most expensive common is $12.96 for the Crustacean King. For your rare cards for beta, gold foil, you're looking at $6 are the cheapest for Hobgoblin and Battle Orca. All the way up to, like, you can get a gold foil beta summoner for under 10 bucks. A chicken for 12. $25 for a gold foil Ulrich. But then they list Earth Elemental for 100, way overpriced. $51.97 Flame Whip, yeah, way overpriced. Paladin, 50, yeah. So if more of these cards are in the $25 range, all these cards up here should be $25 or less. So these are all overpriced. You can see very small print run, or ones on the market, 2, 4, 2. So, you know, you should have a card like this should be the most expensive. Even Prismatic Energy, I can see $19. It's a good price for that card. But 100 for Earth Elemental, no. Silver Shield Paladin, 50, no. Stone Golem for 40, no. He should probably be half of that. So just be aware, some prices can be kind of out of whack from time to time when there's not many on the market. Gold Foil Epics, Brownie at 30 is your cheapest, all the way to $2.45 for the Death Summoner, and you can see that is over twice the price of the next highest card. So this one should probably be more in the $75 to $85 range. And then finally, your gold foil legendary cards. Black Dragon is sitting at $2.65. Only 3 on the market, only 67 in circulation. Cryptmancer, a single copy of $700. There is only 46 in circulation. Most expensive Spirit Miner, $2,500 along with Plato. Only ones on the market. 80 in circulation for the Spirit Miner and only 42 for Plato. So this is another reason why I am big on holding packs long term, is as the game grows and evolves, there's eventually going to be people that are going to say, hey, I want to buy a $10, $20, $30 pack, get a chance to pull a $2,500 card. So years away probably, but hey, I'm patient. I can wait. All right, so that's it for the gold foils. Let's move on to the promo cards. Let's move on to regular foil. So as I mentioned in part 1, Delwyn, the common card, he's not $4.95 per BCX. This was the only one, the cheapest one listed, and that is for a level 3, 5 BCX. So at 99 cents per BCX, that's about what he should be going for. But as you can see, there are no single copies on the marketplace. The rare 49, Red Dragon stays the same at 1067. Archmage Arius, there's 8 amazingly on the market. Let's check that out. And they are all max level. Maybe that's how the card came. Maybe it automatically was a max level card. I'm not sure. You can see there are several copies available for just under 580 bucks. And then Prince Julian, once again, he's also maxed. Just under $1,000 is the cheapest on the market. And then your gold foil versions. So Delwyn is sitting at $8.97, the Dragon Bowman at $25, and then the Epic Fiendish Harpy is $100, and there are no gold foil legendary promo cards. Okay, let's move to Orb. Let's do regular foil. So Orb being a small set is nice. It goes by very quickly. So 5 to 10 cents for the commons. As you can see, these cards, other than Armorsmith, which is decent with the repair, Maybe, even though I never see this card, Molten Ogre, to have Demoralize right away. I'm surprised I don't see this more in Wild. I mean, yes, it is pricey at 9, but to have Demoralize at level 1 is pretty good. The other two I never see. Your rares, Undead Archer, 23 cents. The Bard with Cleanse, only 1 mana for 24. Electric Eels for 25. These prices continue to fall too. I think this is the cheapest I've seen Dwarven Wizard, sitting here at 64 cents. Very good card to have in Wild. You know, neutral, Little League, magic damage, especially with Snipe. You know, very nice card to have. 64 cents. If you play in Wild, just get 1 copy of it. You'll be glad you have it in your arsenal. Same thing with Mermaid Healer. Get Triage for under $1. Great for Little League. You know, once again, really good cards to have in Wild. And then your legendary cards, Minotaur Warlord at 738, Lord of Fire at 809, and your Corrupted Pegasus is sitting at $9.90. Decent amount of these on the marketplace, and you can see between 850 and just over 900 copies total in circulation. And then for your gold foil versions, $2 for the Ogre, up to, surprised that the Goblin Chef is $7.43. Maybe it's because of the Affliction. And the Armor Smith is only $2.40. Yeah, it must be because of the Affliction. Okay, your rares, $6 to $8.63. Not very many copies on the market. No epics, once again. And your legendaries, Minotaur Warlord 700 and Corrupted Pegasus for 1400. And look at how few there are. Minotaur Warlord, only 39 cards in circulation. Corrupted Pegasus, only 52. Okay, that takes care of orbs. Let's go to Untamed. Let's just look at the core and reward cards. So for Untamed, your base cards, you're looking at, you know, 100,000. Of course, these are probably some of the reward cards where you have over 100,000 copies of the commons. When you get into the base set, then you're more, you know, in the 20 to 30, 40,000 range. Still plentiful commons out there, but also very good cards as well. So, you know, some of my favorites, the Spy, Sandworm. Failed Summoner is not the most expensive this week. It is Herbalist, sitting at 44 cents. Still great cards in Untamed. Looking at the rares, now you're moving at 4 cents for the Grim Reaper, all the way up to $3.75 for Elven Mystic. And let's take a quick look at the Summoners, since you have Summoners in the set, rares. Contessa, 11 cents. Wizard of Eastwood, 14. Pyre sitting at 16. Drake of Arnek at 20. Mother Kala at 27. And Bortus sitting at 31 cents. Your epic cards range from 27 cents all the way up to $2.03 to the Chief. You can see the print numbers here. Then for your legendary cards, the cheapest legendary for Untamed is Ancient Lich at $1.60. All the way up to Kitty, once again, is the most expensive card, holding it just under 50 bucks. Jotun, you can see here, 45. Llama at 26. Almo sitting at 12.60. I saw this Dragon Jumper at 12, and I'm like, that can't be a single BCX. And it isn't. It's for 3 BCX. So single BCXs look like they're still selling $3.50 to $4 range for Dragon Jumper. Mimosa's under 10. Chancius is under 10. Kron is sitting just under 10 at $9.90. Cornelius at $8.50. That seems like a good price to me if you don't have a Cornelius. And another card I'm thinking of picking up is Phantom. I'm going to do it right now. Phantom of the Abyss for under $5, and I do not have this card. Yeah, I got to pick up a Phantom of the Abyss. I play in Wild. I definitely need this card. You know, no melee. You put him in the front with 6 speed, flying and dodge. Yeah, and 3 magic damage. Okay, so there's still other copies out there, guys, that are good prices. I didn't get the only one. There's still some that are under $5. So if this is a card that you want to have, definitely go grab it. Same thing with Vigilator, great card, just over $3. So very good cards here in Untamed if you don't have them already. Okay, so let's look now at the gold foil versions. So 50 cents for Biceratops is your cheapest common, all the way up to, yep, Failed Summoner is the most expensive, but only $2.69. That's not bad. Seems about right. 80 cents for a Serpentine Spy. Once again, if you play Wild, 80 cents is a fantastic price for that card, and $1 for Sandworm is a good price as well. Okay, going to rares. $2.38 for the Grim Reaper, all the way up to $7.95 for Chimer Princess. Now let's take a look at summoner prices, since we have gold foil summoners. Decent prices across the board. $2.56 for Wizard of Eastwood gold foil, all the way to $5.59 for Dragon Summoner Drake of Arnak. So you play in Wild, you need summoners, you want a gold foil to get that 10% bonus. If you're not worried about having max level, maybe you play in gold guild brawls, just having one of these in your arsenal is going to give you a lot of flexibility as to cards you can play. Gold epics, you're looking at $10.39 for the Onyx Sentinel, all the way up to $150 for Pyromaniac. Yeah, there's only one copy available, that's why he's that high. Only one copy of Hero Beyond at $75. Darkest Mage, 2 copies at $50. All 3 of these cards I think should probably be in the, let's say, $15 to $20, $25 range. So these 3 are very overpriced. And then Gold Foil Legendaries, $62.50 for the Robo Dragon Knight is your cheapest. Moving all the way up to $500 is your most expensive gold foil card for Untamed this week. So you can see there's that empty spot right here. There's no gold foil kitties on the marketplace. Okay, let's look at promos. So for your promo cards, you've got the Halfling Alchemist at $1.50, Chain Golem at $6.56, and Mighty Dricken at $700. Actually, this one came down. The one that I saw earlier, yep, theirs is the one I saw earlier when I did part 1, $1,888. So, Clove, shout out to Clove. Clove has one listed now for $700. And then your gold foil versions, Chain Golem gold foil is $60, Halfling Alchemist is at $88.11, and no gold foil Dricken, just the regular foil. Come on, Clove, list a gold foil if you got it. All right, dice. Love going through dice because it is such a small set. 2 to 7 cents for your commons. Nothing exciting there. Your rares, where you get to the summoners. So 10 cents for Quid, 16 for Vera, 57 for Lorna, 73 for Ouster, 92 for Brighton Bloom, and $1.08 for Mylor. But now you get to the gold foils. You've got Brighton Bloom is the most expensive at 20. Gold foil Mylar, 12 bucks. Not a bad price, just saying. Lorna Shine, gold foil under $10. Once again, I think that's a good price as well. So what do we got? A couple under 10. And then you've got maxed ones for 88. Or no, that's not max. That's 11 BCX. There's a maxed one. So there's one max gold foil Lorna Shine going for $241 or just under $11 per BCX. So yeah, if you can grab a gold foil Lorna Shine under $10 a BCX, I think that's pretty good. And then Ouster at 3, I think, is a steal. You know, as you can see, he's the 3rd highest summoner here. I think he's very useful, and he's only $369. There's no maxed ones on the market. The highest one is a level 7 for 53. Yeah, the BCX price seems pretty much in line with the rest of them, but still, I just think that's undervalued for what he is with that Magic Reflect. Once again, if you just need a single copy, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong at all getting a single copy gold foil. I don't think of any of these quote-unquote lower-end summoners just to have them in your arsenal. Okay, let's look at the epics. So your epic cards, 46 to 65 cents. Gold foils, 11.81 to 27.83. And your legendaries, 330 up to $50 for Epona. So you can see Crawlis is back to 18. Didn't we have it where not too long ago Crawlis was like, what, 30, 40 bucks or something outrageous? Yeah, $18, 17.18 seems to be more realistic for BCX price. And then your gold foil cards range from $42.75 up to just under $300 for a gold foil Crawlis. Or no, that's a Ganu. He's regular foil. So your gold foil cheapest is 60 bucks up to just under 300. Okay, so let's go to Chaos Legion. Oh, so many things to look at. So maybe we can just look at the core and the first batch of reward cards. So of course you know the base is going to be a penny. The only thing to really look at here is where Scavo is, because he's consistently the most expensive, and he's 9 cents. 9 cents doesn't sound like a lot, but for a Chaos Legion common, where there's 260,000 of them, it's actually not too bad. The rares, as I mentioned in part 1, there was a spike in Kelia a couple weeks ago, up to 32 cents. Now she's down to 15. And of course, the low-end commons are still sitting at 2 cents for a lot of the reward cards. I also need to do a video. Maybe I'll get a chance to do it. If not next weekend, if I can get a chance sometime during this week, I want to do a video just going through Chaos Legion cards that we're so used to playing that are our staple cards in Wild and in Modern. And once the new Modern comes in and all these rotate out, I want to do a video on what the corresponding card is going to be in Rebellion. So once Demon Shark goes out, what are we going to be able to play for water that's going to take its place? Or Curse Wendigo, once he rotates out, what are we going to be able to play? So just something I've been thinking about, so stay tuned for that video. Hopefully I can put that together sometime in the next week, because I really want to cover this. Because even in Modern, I would say 90% of the time I see 90% Chaos Legion cards. I don't see Rift Watchers, and I don't see Rebellion. So want to kind of go through how everyone's going to be in for a big shock when all these cards go away from Modern. Okay, so your epics, we're looking at 9 cents, all the way to Wave Brood sitting at 26 cents, and just since I did the video earlier today, Tusk the Wide was the most expensive at 77, so he's come back down to 12 cents. And then your legendary cards, you're looking at 47 cents for the Corpse Fiend, all the way down to this week, Lily is still the most expensive summoner at $3.85. Your gold foils, so you've got 13 cents for the floor for your gold foil commons, all the way down to 86 cents for the Scavo Hireling. And then your rares, looking at 57 cents for the Venari Spellsmith, all the way down to your summoners. Man, just to see gold foil summoners under $1 is just wild to me. $1.74 for Kelia. Gold foil epics, my favorite sweet spot for land workers. $2.80 for Jin Renova, which is great if you have life plots. And as you can see, there's a decent amount. You've got more than 10 of most of these. 15 of the Dragon, Jin Chihuahua. So if you have plots that need Dragon workers, Jin Chihuahua is great. $3.50 per BCX. Magi of Chaos and Uraeus. I'm kind of surprised that these are the two most expensive, since these are both neutral. For the longest time, these had been the cheapest ones because people don't want neutral ones for land. So kind of surprised by that. So if you don't look at these two, you're looking at $3.90. So $2.80 to $3.90 for gold foil epics for your land workers. And then legendary cards, you're looking at just under 18 bucks for Jin Bilka. He is your cheapest legendary gold foil, all the way up to Bakjira at $79.45. Look at this, only a single copy of Carnage Titan for $75. Immortalis for $74, Lily for $50. All right, so let's now look at your Soulbound cards. Well, let's look at promo. We'll do promo and then we'll do the Soulbound. So here are your promo cards. So as I mentioned in part one, the big takeaway that I have is Dr. Blight at $7.25. You know, that's the cheapest that I've seen him, and there's a few. So you've got 5 copies, guys, that are under $9.50. This is what I've seen him in the last couple of weeks, you know, being in that $9.50 to around $11 to $12 range. So if there are 5 copies available under $7.50, if you guys are looking for a deal, looking for a great card, you know, even when he rotates out, you know, at some point I think everyone is going to play in Wild, and just to have a single copy of Dr. Blight I think is pretty good. So just wanted to me, this is pretty much one of the buys of the week, is to pick up a Dr. Blight for under $7.50. Then the other key cards, Oshure came down from a month ago. She spiked to 20. Now she's back down to 10. Waka at 105, and then Lux Vega at 175. And then your gold foil versions, that single copy of Lux Vega for $5,000. And there's only 63. Waka, there's only 34. He's sitting at 638. All right, so what was the other thing we want to look at? The Soulbound reward cards. So what are these guys doing? 4 to 7 cent range for your commons. So you can see there's a decent amount of all of these on the market. And the one there's the fewest of is Coastal Century, only 68 copies, most expensive at 7 cents. Your rares, which you know, I love just for the summoners. I don't think they're ever going to print summoners again that you can get in reward chest or get with glint. I think from now on you're only going to be able to get summoners from buying packs. I think that's the way it should be. And also I don't think you're ever going to get summoners again that allows you to play gladiator cards. So these things are special for 2 reasons. One, you could earn these for free just by playing, and the second, you could play gladiator cards with them. These are going to be big when these get out of Modern. You're not going to constantly see gladiator cards in Modern at the lower levels. You know, you're not going to come up against Cora all the time. You're not going to come up against Catrelba or Captain Katie. So this is going to be another thing. It might be a relief for a lot of players, especially newer players, that you're not going to have to worry about going up against cards that you don't own if you're not in a guild. So you're not going to have to worry about that. So these things are going to be big. I think these things are really going to appreciate once they move to Wild. Once again, just for the ability to cast gladiator cards. So, you know, most all of us that are currently playing the game have these where we want them. But for all the new players to come in, I think once they realize the power of these things long term are going to be cards that are very, very desirable. Okay, going for epics, $1.04 to $1.30 for your epic cards. So let it load the graphics here. So you can see a decent amount of all these. Well, decent amount of most of these. You start getting to Idri Fire, there's only 14. Noah the Just, there's only 12. Remember, it takes 46 to level one of these things. So how many copies do we have? So you've got 1 max copy, and then you've got single copies. So not many of these on the market at all. And then finally, your legendary cards. Musa Celine at just under 5, up to Drybone Raider. I think more people are realizing how good this card is, especially leveled up when it gets that shatter at 890. So having the double attack and double strike, this thing is just nasty. And when you get it leveled, you know, if you get shatter and then you get cripple on top of that and you're attacking 4 times, you're really knocking down their max health. So this thing is just, you know, if you can afford it, this card is an absolute must-have. Okay, let's go to, we did the promos. I think we did everything there. Did we do the gold foils? So let's go over the gold foil versions. So your gold foil commons, right around $1 for the base, up to $1.50. That seems pretty normal. 480. This is the one I couldn't think of the name. Ravenhood Warden, only a single copy for 38 bucks. Normally he'd probably be $7.50. So that seems to be a range right now. It's just under $5 to about $8 for your rares. And like I mentioned, you know, these summoners are just so good. Your epics, you can see there's one of these that is not even available for sale. So the dragon one is not listed. So the gold foil ones, very, very few of these. And legendaries, 119 for Iziar. Here's the one that was only a single copy of for 275 is Phyrexian Hero. There's also just one copy of Drybone Raider at 129. Kind of surprised. He's the most expensive regular foil. I'm really surprised that he's not closer to 200. Not financial advice, but yeah, I don't think that's going to last long. He'll be gone. He'll be gone by next week. And then what else? Usud at 145. Okay, so that's all the reward cards there. Let's go to Rift Watchers. Let's do commons. So 1 to 8 cents for the commons, pretty normal. Lots in circulation. Your rares, just an awesome selection of rares across the board, especially when you have 4 cards out of the lot that all have stun. That is just so nice. 42 cents for Queen of Crows. Your epics. Now this is where we had a bit of a surprise. Dallin is not the cheapest. It's Skargor. Now Dallin had been what, 20 to 30 cents? So why the spike in price to 60 cents? Maybe somebody knows a good use for cripple ability. Other surprise was Thispa. Oh, Thispa's moved up. When I recorded part 1, Thispa was actually the cheapest summoner at 40 cents. So I thought that was a great buy for Thispa if you could get him for 40 cents. Still, under $1 is not bad at all. Up to $1.20 for Ilthane. And your legendary cards, Runemancer, of course, is now under $1 at 98 cents. All the way up to $33 for Inevitable. Coral Lurker at 5, I think is a great, great price. Searick at 12. Immolations under 10. Kind of surprising there. Let's look at the regular foils, or the gold foils, 30 cents to $1.45. Surprised this one is the most expensive. Your rares, 74 cents to $2.97 for Queen of Crows. Your epics, this is the one that was surprising too. Thispa is the cheapest for the gold foil, under Dallin. So if you're valuing Dallin at $6, you're telling me that's better than a dragon summoner that gives phase to your entire team. So I think this card is another buy of the week. See how many are available at that price. Might just be one copy. No. Wow, there are 4 copies and are all under $5. 4 copies get you a level 4, which is mid-gold. Mid-gold dragon summoner. Might be something good to pick up. So how much will that cost you? So under 19 bucks, you can get a mid-gold dragon summoner. Hint, hint, not financial advice, but there you go, guys. You're welcome. Aquatis at 11. Yeah, I don't understand that. That's a little bit high to me. You know, he should be more in the 6 range. And then legendaries, 25 for Mortius, up to 139 for Agor Longtail. You can see there's no gold foil inevitable. There was a person that was selling one or trying to sell one for 150. So if you have not sold that card and are looking to list it, you can list that card for whatever you want because you have no competition. Okay, so that's it for Chaos Legion. Now let's wrap this up with Rebellion, starting with Core Rebellion. Common cards, strong floor at 6-7 cents. All the way up to, let's look at just the regular foils. There's some copies under 30 cents. Okay, another buy. You know, I still think any of these summoners under 30 cents, you got to have them, guys. Going forward, it's like if you don't have the money to get the legendaries, well, for one, the legendaries aren't going to do you any good in Little League. So the only summoners as of now that you can play in Little League are going to be these guys. Because your rare ones cost 5, the legendaries cost, what, 5, 7, or 10? We don't know what's coming out in Conclave Arcana. Maybe it's going to have summoners, but, you know, what are the, I'm guessing, rare summoners going to cost? Are they going to cost 4? Are they going to cost 5? Time will tell, but as of now, you got to have these guys to be able to play in Little League. Plus, being able to play in 2 splinters is just so nice. But those are your commons. Your rares, 12 cents is the floor, up to $1.59 for Moxie and Rebel. So these 3 seem to be about always the top 3 or 4. You know, Avena, the Soothsayer, Bolter. This is kind of surprising. Nomos has been bought up, and he's up to 69 cents. Your epics, looking at 79 cents up to $3.79 for Captain Fellblade. And then finally your legendaries. I went through the prices of a lot of the legendaries in part 1, so I won't go through them again. $3 for Zabane. You can see all the key cards here, up to Tofu at $59.50. Just want to kind of leave it on the screen for a moment just so we got a record of not just the prices, but how many are on the marketplace and then how many total are in circulation. So months and years from now we can kind of look back on this video and kind of see where the market was at this moment in time in November of 2024. Okay, now let's look at the gold version. And as I mentioned in part 1, the floor on these is moving up. I think probably in the next month or so you're not going to see any of these under $1. So many people have skipped out on Rebellion. I don't have hardly any Rebellion. I'm trying to slowly build up my collection, and the place that you guys know I love to start is commons, gold foils. They are the basis of your deck, so I don't think hardly any of these are going to stay non-summoner. I don't think they're going to stay under $2 for too long. When you get to a lot of the key cards that aren't the summoners, like the the healer, the 2 mana cost ones are so nice once they get to level 5. The summoners I think are going to be $5 plus pretty soon. So a lot of great cards in Rebellion at the common level in gold foil. And like I said, commons are the basis for your deck and for a lot of the new players coming in. So, all right, let's go to the rares. Once again, rares are also a basis for your deck, being affordable and cards you're going to play a lot, especially in certain rule sets where you can't play legendaries and can only play commons and rares. These are going to be the ones that you're going to want to level up first. So Avena at $9.90, a couple of these are pushing $10 already. Moxie and Rebel, I'm surprised isn't $10. This card will be $10 to $15 gold foil. Don't want to use the G word, but everybody's going to realize that there's not going to be a lot of weapons training going forward. There are a few cards, but a lot of the weapons trainers are rotating out. And with this only being a rare, with it being neutral, with this being able to play in Little League, this card is just so good. Bolter at just under 8. This is another card I think is going to go up a lot too, being neutral and opportunity. This card might be the best replacement that we have going forward for Deep Lurker. Then your epics, $7 for Thanalorian Scion, all the way up to Captain Fellblade at over 24. And then finally your legendary cards, looking at $34.40 for Zabajin, all the way up to $4.75. Or look at that cool artwork for Tofu. Until it changes. Yep, there's Tofu at $4.75. And then let's look at the reward cards. Let's look at the commons. So this kind of surprised me too, 18 cents for the Skink. Skink is great, and I do believe, this is going to be your main tank going forward once Demon Shark rotates out. So this is going to be the card that a lot of people are going to want to have as their main tank going forward in Modern. So yeah, I can see this card moving up from what's normally the 8 to 11 cent range. He's at 18. I think people are already starting to realize just how good this card is, especially as it gets leveled up and it gets to level 5, which is silver level, and you get that phase. So you've got shield and phase on this thing. Very good combo. And then at max level, we'll just throw in a stun as well. Yeah, this thing is a beast. So a lot of the champ players are going to realize if they want to stay in Modern, this is definitely going to be a card that they're going to want to have at max level. But then again, the champ players are earning so much glint, who knows? A lot of them might already have it maxed out. So there are your commons. Looking at your rares, 37 cents to 58 for the Chaos Adjutant. Love Dark Arborist, love that card. Commander Slade. What other ones have I used? The Legionary is so great as defense against Katralba, being in the back with Thorns once you get it leveled up a little bit. So very good rares. Your epics, $1.89 for the Blade, another fantastic card once it gets execute. Olivia the Brook at 270, and then you guys know my personal favorite, the Weaver, sitting there at 209. Legendary cards, you can see not all of them are listed. There is one missing, anywhere from 950 up to 1590. And then your gold foil versions, these are actually under the cost to unlock, so I'm not sure why they're selling them this cheap. But basically $1.49 to 3 for the commons. Your rares, $8 to 20 for Johnny Rebel. You can notice there's not very many of these at all. Look at, people are not even unlocking the rares to sell them. I don't know if they're afraid that they're not going to be able to sell them, but they may not have trouble selling them. There's not many on the market. You can see there's 2 of them that aren't even available. So if you do have gold foil rares, you may want to take a chance, unlock it, and try to sell it. And then your epic cards, Olivia the Brook at $73.99, and the Weaver, the cheapest, at $45. You can see there's only 4 of the 7 epics listed. Of course, it gets very pricey to unlock these gold foils once you get to epics, and of course there are no legendaries. Okay, and now for the end of the video, we're going to go through all the promo cards. So for the common promo, you've got the Mana Warden, the voucher card, sitting at 14 cents. Gold foil at $1.90. For your different rares, you've got the Henchling Enforcer, 98 cents. The gold foil is $6.21. The newest rare, Rune Arcanist, is $1.94. Gold foil is just under 15. Sanctus Vicar is sitting at $2.31. Gold foil is just above 20. Night Stalker at $2.40. Gold foil is at $15.90, and then Grimbarn Smith still holding on, $2.75, and gold foil just under 20 at $19.69. And then your legendaries, Baron Fiat at $3.32. Gold foil came up a little bit this week, up to $38. Manaroth is $31. Gold foil at $2.99. The new edition, Rick Loneman, $37.62 for the regular foil, $300 for the gold foil. Delia is at $38, and gold foil at $249.95, and then Eleanor is at $41.99, gold foil at $450, and you can see how few of these there are in circulation. Okay guys, there you have it. Thank you very much for sticking with me on this long video. We only get to do this once every 2 weeks, so I like to go in depth and just kind of, like I said, look at the market, look at what I see the trends are, what deals there are, and where I think things are going forward. So hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun. Next week we will do the Land Market Watch video, so stay tuned for that. Okay guys, take care. Man, I don't know if I'll have any time to play today, man. It took me a long time to put all that together. What? Pizza? Oh yeah. Yeah, I want pizza. Come on, let's go get some pizza.